When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. I am your host, Colleen Biggs. And again, week after week, we bring you some amazing guests that are here to share the spotlight and to share their knowledge on a subject that is going to help you design your life. Remember, this show is about how you can design your life. Your life does not happen to you by default. You need to get up, get out of bed, make your bed, and design your life every single day on what you want that to look like. And being in 2024, what does that look like for you? How are you going to design your life differently so that you get the joys out of that life? And Jackie Lapin is here today, and we're going to be talking everything about speaking. She owns this amazing company, but beyond that, she is very knowledgeable on getting on stage, speaking on stage, seducing the next client from stage, and how you need to prep to get ready to be on stage. So if you've always wanted to be a speaker and step on stages, she's got the stages for you to step on, but also the checklist for you to prepare for that. And we're going to be giving those away today for free. So don't go anywhere. But before we get to Jackie and introduce her and talk to her, I want to thank our sponsor of today's show, Beyond Basil Mobile Pizzeria. They're passionate about bringing the authentic flavors of Italy right to your event. Their mobile pizzeria is a culinary adventure on wheels where they craft artisanal pizzas using the finest ingredients and traditional Neapolitan techniques. Whether you're craving a classic margarita or looking to explore one of their unique flavor combinations, their skilled pizziolas are here to create mouth-watering pizzas that will tantalize your taste buds. With their commitment to quality and exceptional service, they aim to provide an unforgettable dining experience for every one of your guests. Explore their menu and book us for their next event, and follow them on Instagram at Beyond Basil Pizza. Get ready to embark on a pizza journey like no other with Beyond Basil Mobile Pizzeria. You can view their menu and contact them at beyondbasilmobilepizzeria.com. Thank you, Beyond Basil, for being our sponsor of today's show. Now let's get to Jackie. Jackie Lapin's mission is to help leaders, entrepreneurs, coaches, and authors like you find and secure your next clients by getting in front of more audiences faster. Her Speakertunity, let's see. Her Speakertunity, the Speaker and Leader Resources Company, has reached hundreds of thousands of speakers and lead contacts and has curated them to meet their needs. Jackie's Speakertunity member-only program provides leads for live and virtual events and meetings, conferences, podcasts, radios, show, videocasts, virtual summits, TEDx events, and more. Speakertunity is the ultimate speaker toolbox, one-stop shopping for the speaker. Hi, Jackie. Welcome to the show.
I am delighted to be here, Colleen. You and I have had a lot of fun over the years.
I was just going to say, Jackie is a great friend of mine. And I met her way back in 2018 when I was just coming out of corporate America at an event that David Fagan was throwing. That was the first time I met Jackie. We connected right away and have been connecting with each other and doing workshops together, promoting each other's businesses over the years. And I really think that's so important for us to do with each other, right? It's important for us to do that. But Jackie, you've got an amazing resume, but I want to ask you a personal question. How did you get into helping leaders? Why did you want to provide stages? Where did that come from? What year did it start? What was your journey like? Were you a speaker, or what happened? Where was the pivot?
Let's go way back.
Yeah.
So when I was 11 years old, I decided I wanted to be a sports writer, and there were no women sports writers.
Oh, no.
And so at 20, I was at the Detroit Free Press At 21, I was on the front pages of the Los Angeles Times and at the Associated Press. And at 22, I was at the Washington Post, and I'd co-hosted Dodger Dugout on Channel 11 here in Los Angeles. I went on to have one of the two largest sports special events and cable TV PR agencies in America for 20 years. I mean, with a world-class client list. But the media was changing. It wasn't much fun anymore. It was contracting, getting harder to get publicity for people. And it was going to social media. About the same time, I wrote 2 books in personal growth that were taking off. But I realized that when I was writing that my heart lay with the people who were making the world a better place. And so I completely rebranded my company. It became Conscious Media Relations. And I started doing radio podcast tours for authors, leaders, and experts, which is something that we continue to do under that brand, where we introduce authors to 9,000 radio shows with a minimum guarantee of 30 interviews. So about 10 years ago, and I've been doing that for over 14, 15 years. So about 10 years ago, some of my clients came to me and said, "Can you book me for speaking gigs?" I said, "I don't want to do that, but I know where they are. So why don't I tell you?" And so that's how Speakertunity was born. I began assembling opportunities for leaders to begin booking themselves. And at that point, it was mostly transformational leaders. And now we cover a vast variety of leaders in all different kinds of businesses. But that was the first product. And then from there, we began to grow. And we've added almost 30 products over the course of the last couple of years that really fill in the needs and the holes where, either if you're going to do it yourself, if you need some help, if you want to hire a VA, if you want to get somebody to do your paid engagements, if you just want to offer yourself to meeting planners, if you need speaker sheets, all of the different things that a speaker needs, we put in one place. Now, we don't teach people how to speak. That's not our niche. We work with amazing speaker coaches and trainers all over. But once you've gotten that signature speed and you're ready to go, or you're just kind of formulating what's the presentation going to be, but you already can deliver it, well, then that's where we come in. That's where we step in and either help you learn how to book yourself, or we'll help you do that. And we'll just give you tons of leads that is going to make it so easy. I mean, our mission is to help it make it, get speakers booked easier, faster, and in more places, just so we know how hard all of the people in our industry work. This is one thing they don't need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So from 11 years old, you had decided that you wanted to be a sports writer, and then took off with your dreams when you were old enough. And that's just a fantastic story to hear. And I'm a speaker. I've hired speaker coaches. I've formulated that kind of signature speech. And a lot of people say, well, I don't want to say the same thing over and over again. It's like, well, no, you do the same thing over and over again. You should have that signature speech on all different stages with all different, individuals and news circles in front of you, for sure. So, Jackie, if someone, and I get your lead sheets. So everyone needs to know I'm a member of Speakertunity. I highly support this organization and this company because they're really good leads for anyone who is like, well, I don't know where to look to find, and they go to Google and start Googling, women conferences, and then just start applying to things that they have no idea if they're qualified for. That's why I love your leads, because there's just hundreds of leads to be able to go through and use that to our advantage. So a speaker, someone who says, I really want to get my message out. I want to be able to talk to more people and get in front of more people on stages. Where do I start? What do I need?
Well, the first thing I would tell you is, if you're intimidated by the concept of getting on a bigger stage, start with podcasts and summits. Mm-hmm. They really are an easy way for you to get your confidence up. So when we recommend that you give the host a list of questions, that's a roadmap of where you want to take the audience. But that roadmap should very much follow a lot of what you would be doing in a signature speech, so that by the time you've delivered it 20, 30 times, the next time you get on stage, it is so easy. I did that when I had my last book. I did 100 interviews. So when I got on stage, I was so comfortable. I knew my material. I could deliver it instantly. So that's one fast way to get started. Now, if you're going to begin pitching yourself, The first thing I should step back. The first thing you want to do is identify your target audience and where you're going to want to be speaking. That's the most important. Who is your target audience? And you've built your speech around that target audience and what they need. The most important message that anybody can deliver when it comes to a booker, whether it's podcasts or conferences or meetings, is what problem do you solve for that audience? And so the audience, what you offer needs to fit the audience. And whether you're giving them a free gift to get them into your community or whether you're making a full offer from the stage, it has to be a market match. So now you know where you want to go. So you want to begin to start putting the tools together that you need. So if you're going to pitch yourself for podcasts, you have two options. One is a full podcast pitch letter. And that basically is a story, a hook that tells the host why you should be on that show with your credentials and what you're going to speak on. Then the other option is a podcast introductory sheet, a beautiful one-page glossy that gives a bio on you and the 4 or 5 topics that you actually address into your interviews, and maybe a couple of great testimonials. So that's for podcasts. And summits, we recommend a mini media kit because you're going to be filling out a lot of forms. You want a 3-paragraph bio, a 3-paragraph introduction of what you're going to be speaking on, a 3-paragraph on what your free gift and giveaway is, your lead magnet, and then your social media and your website. And you're going to be copying and pasting that into all the different forms. And so that's what you'll need for summits. Now, when you're talking about meetings and conferences and other kinds of stages where you're going to be in front of a full audience, then and that could be a small audience from 20 people up to thousands of people. Then you're going to want a couple of other things. You want a great proposal letter that speaks to why you, again, the problem you solve, and your credentials. And then you want to attach a couple of other things. You want to attach your speaker sheet, which I'm going to talk to next, and then your video of you on stage. And it should only be 3 to 5 minutes. It should not be a full presentation. Give them the best 3 to 5 minutes so that you look fantastic, and don't shoot it on social media, on your phone. Get a professional video done, or buy the video when you present it somewhere if the host won't give it to you, etc. Or go to a speaker showcase, which there are some that we have relationships with, where you can actually get that done in front of a mock audience. But the speaker sheet is the other important thing that you need. And a speaker sheet is 2 pages as opposed to 1 page that the podcast sheet is. And the speaker sheet is, again, great bio, great graphics of you, headshots. And then if you've got it on stage, a couple of testimonials from bookers who booked you, as opposed to other people. If you don't have that yet, you can put in your clients or your people who've heard you speak, but you want to replace it ultimately with people who've booked you. And then on the back side, you want to have 3 presentations. Now, we were talking about 1 signature presentation, and you can repurpose that for different audience. Like you have one that's basically for a general audience, and one for, a business audience, and, one for a youth audience, or, but it could be 3 different topics as well that expand what and you want it because you want to give the bookers choice. You want to make sure that, when you're pitching a lot of bookers, you don't have to give them 3 different things. They can go onto that back and say, oh, she or he speaks on this or on this, and find the run that matches them. And you want to have it done so that it looks really beautiful graphic. And we help people do that because we do it really simple. You pick from a template, choose colors, fill in the form. You don't even have to know what to do. We'll tell you exactly what to give us. And then we get it back to you in 3 to 5 days.
That's great. Yeah, you've got to have these professional speaker sheets and media sheets, and because that's really your credibility on the line, right? It's the professionalism that you show up as. It's why in the Leap community, we work so hard on visibility for brands, because one podcast that we're doing today, Jackie, will provide you with up to 5 digital footprints on Google. It is so important. We don't have a resume, right? As an entrepreneur. So if you don't have a resume, you don't want to hand a resume to someone to get on stage. They will look you up. people will be soft stalking you way before they ever say yes to you. So they might get that speaker sheet and then they're going to Google you and go kind of look around, look at your website, and they're going to look at everything you've done online. And if they've seen that you've done other conferences, podcasts, speaker opportunities, they're going to know you're well versed and you know you've got a lot of experience, and that's going to give them that assurance and more comfortability to bring you on stage, because they're the ones booking you, so it's their responsibility to make sure the speaker is going to be ideal for the room, right? It's a huge thing. So Jackie, you're so right about that. What is the one mistake that you find a lot of speakers make?
They assume that they're going to get time in their schedule to do their booking. They'll say, oh, I'll get to it this week. Never happened. You have a million other things. You actually have to book 3 hours in your schedule every week, as if you were making an appointment with a client. Give those 3 hours to actually making a commitment. Now, that could be doing it yourself and getting your materials out to various different people. It could be doing the follow-up, or it could be having a VA or having a team member do it and supervising them and getting involved in, that. Or it could be you hire outside. Like we have somebody that does booking for paid engagements. And again, you need to be checking the materials they send over, making corrections, telling them, no, this is not going to work. Or if they get you leads, then they're going to want you to follow up with those different media or those speaking opportunities. So if you don't commit the time, you can't earn the dime, as I say.
Oh, I love that saying. If you don't commit the time, you can't earn the dime. She's right, because I have to block off time in my schedule, and an hour is never enough. I'll block off an hour and say I'm going to apply. It's never enough. So, and it's a combination of my staff plus myself looking and applying for them. So you do have to block off time for that specific, if you want to earn the dime, if you want to. And here's the thing. Everyone thinks, oh, getting paid as a speaker is the way to go. Not always. Sometimes you get paid a lot less because they'll pay you your speaker fee. But what you could have made if you were on a stage where you could sell from stage, you could make a lot more money, tens and thousands of dollars more money than you would have been paid as a paid speaker. So I hear a lot of women say, oh, I want to get paid for speaking. And so I just break it down for them and look at the numbers and say, well, now do you want to get paid for speaking, or do you want to sell from stage? So I think just a lot of people are afraid to sell from stage. And I'm not saying that workshops I get hired for or speaking that I get hired for to speak on stage, it's wonderful because you're there for a specific reason. You deliver that and then you leave, and that's great. And it's great money. But if that's all you're doing, you can make more money a lot of the time selling from stage. So,
well, and I believe that you really need to have all three in your arsenal.
You do.
How to give a free offer from stage. That is because some audiences you're not allowed to sell from stage, but you can also be in a target-rich community, and you don't want to lose the opportunity to build a relationship with those people. Yeah. Obviously, then sell from stage when you've got the right offer for that audience, and lastly, you be able to do a keynote. So as you get more experienced at this, you really should have all three in your arsenal.
Yeah. And why, in your opinion, is speaking so important for individuals to get up in front of other people?
It is simply the most effective way to get people to buy from you. No question. Even if it's just a book. But that in-person thing creates a relationship, a comfort level, a trust, the know, like, and trust level that you can't do in anything else. Now, I'm not saying you can. Virtual is this, from stage as well. You can have just as effective a speaking opportunity from virtual as you can from a live stage. But either way, they need to see you and feel you and get a sense of who you are to make that decision easier for them. So you being in their presence is important. And I'm going to make one other point. In this era of AI, there are so much out there that can be faked. Your voice, your experience, your your pitch, your how you present yourself, and even your image. You can't fake being in front of an audience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to make a big difference as we go forward in the AI world.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So you have a definitive speaker checklist that you're giving away today. Do you want to tell us what that definitive speaker checklist is?
Well, it's just as it sounds. It's going to give you everything that you need to put together to be an effective speaker. All the steps that you need to go through, what happens in the booking process, and then once you're already booked, what are some of the things that you need to make happen? So it makes sure that you don't miss a step, so that you think to yourself, "Oh dear, I'm stuck without this. The booker is asking for me for this. I don't have it, or I forgot to do this thing." It gives you everything that you need to do that.
That's wonderful. So that's kind of for our beginner. And then you have a free 44 ways, I love this, to seduce your next client from stage, podcast, summits, and more. Tell us a little bit about that. I'm assuming it's just a list of 44 different ways.
Well, not just ways, it's all the different lead magnets that you could, if you just think that offering an ebook or a consultation is about the only things that you can offer from stage, I got news for you. There are 44 different kinds of things that you can offer. And this is going to light you up to think, "Ooh, I could do that," or "I could do that." And it's going to give you some real ideas of what's going to be an irresistible lead magnet.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to be sure to download that. So for all of you out there listening, you can download that for free. It's there in your podcast notes. Jackie, I just want to thank you for your friendship and for your warm heart. You're just such a kind person, and for providing this. This provides me with so much opportunity. It provides people I know with opportunity, and everyone who is your member of Speakertunity. So you have a Speakertunity, and then you have a members only. So tell us a little bit about those two differences, since we're dropping a lot of links. And I do want them to reach out to you on Facebook. I think one of the best ways to get to know someone is start following them on social media. So again, that's not a commitment. Just go follow her on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, wherever your preferred social media is, and go follow them so you can understand a little bit more about what they do. But what would you say? Oh, what did I say earlier?
The difference between Speakertunity and Speakertunity members only. So Speakertunity is the overall
first time
brand.
that's ever happened. Forgot what I said. My gosh.
No worries. So Speakertunity is the overall brand.
Yeah.
In which we have like 30 different programs. However, the easiest way in the door is our membership program, Speakertunity members only, because what it does is it gives you a choice of 40 podcasts a month that are life enhancing or lifestyle, 40 business podcasts, if that's what you're looking for. All the summits that are looking for guest presenters, and giveaways that are looking for partners, so that you increase your opt-in list, you qualify for more summits. And then a smorgasbord of leads all over North America that you can get on from conferences and meetings and spiritual centers and bookstores and retreats. And that's for a transformational leader.
Yeah.
And then last one, conferences. So if you want, you can pick from 4,000 conferences in 60 different categories. You're talking about women's conferences. We've got over 100 every time, just in women's business. And then we've got a separate category for women's empowerment. Yeah. But whatever you want to speak on, you can easily find. And so it's really inexpensive. It's only $47 a month. You pick which one you want. And then we grow with you as you need more things. Like if you wanted all of those, you can go to the next level. We've got regional directories, niche specialty directories where, you can get all the meetings in your whole region.
Oh, nice.
Or all the niche, like if you want all the women's business meetings all across North America, we've got the 60 different niches. So you get those as you go up. or under the Speakertunity branding, you can just buy things a la carte. But the membership is a great place to start. You get included in our speaker showcase, and we got people that love it and have been with us a long time. So
that's wonderful, Jackie. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this on today's show. We have all of that at your fingertips. So definitely reach out to Jackie through LinkedIn or somewhere that is a really good reach for you on your preferred social media. And definitely look at Speakertunity and the option. I mean, for $47 a month, it's a no-brainer for you to be able to have access to all of that. I mean, the access alone of what you get is worth way more than $47 a month. So, Jackie, thank you so much. Yeah. Did you one more thing?
One more thing I wanted to mention. If you are hankering to do a TEDx, we have the most comprehensive list of all the TEDx events in the world. And it's only $99. So if you're looking to do a TEDx, this is a great place to start. Thank you for letting me stick that in.
Absolutely. So many people want to get on a TEDx. So if that's what you want to do, then definitely look into Speakertunity. And Jackie, I'm just so thrilled to be your friend and have you here today. And thank you so much for being on our show. And to all of you out there, remember, you're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that's ever going to be. So how are you going to design this life so that you're using your voice, so that you're speaking up, so that you're sharing your message? And the way to do that is stages. And we've shared a million ways today for you to be able to get on those stages and the different types of stages. This was just full of information and direction on that. And Speakertunity is one of the best companies I know out there that can support you in that journey. So, Jackie, thank you again for being with us. And to all of you, until next time, thank you again so much for being loyal listeners. Make sure you are being you and being strong. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery, where you learned the tools to create a life by design. Remember, you are the only you there is, and you are the only you that will ever be. Be you and be strong, because you are brilliant, and the world needs you at your best. We cannot wait for you to join us again next time.